If being a good woman was enough to make a man stay, the women giving the most would have the best relationships. But that's not what happens. In fact, some of the most heartbroken women you'll ever meet are incredibly good women. They're thoughtful, loyal, supportive, emotionally available. They communicate well, they care deeply, and somehow they're the ones sitting awake at night wondering what happened. Because in the beginning, everything looked promising. He pursued, he called, he texted first, he made plans, he seemed genuinely excited about them. Then, little by little, something changed. The texts became shorter, the effort became inconsistent, the enthusiasm faded, and eventually they're left asking the same question. If I was so good to him, why did he stop trying? It's a painful question because it feels like the rules changed in the middle of the game. You did what everyone told you to do. You were kind, you were understanding, you gave him the benefit of the doubt, you showed up. So why are you the one getting taken for granted? And why does it seem like the women who get the most effort from men aren't necessarily the women giving the most? Today I'm going to answer that question because the truth has very little to do with whether you're a good woman, and almost everything to do with how male pursuit actually works. I'm Brooke Sullivan, founder of Dark Femme Secrets, and today we're talking about why good women get taken for granted, the 3 mistakes that quietly shut down a man's desire to pursue, and what the women who never seem to get taken for granted understand that most women never learn. Stay with me because the 3rd mistake is the one that changes everything. Before we get into the mistakes, I need you to understand one thing. Most women assume attraction grows through giving. The more support, the more love, the more effort, the more invested he'll become. And while giving absolutely matters in a healthy relationship, that's not what creates pursuit. Pursuit comes before commitment, and pursuit runs on a completely different fuel source. Think about the last thing you couldn't stop thinking about. Maybe it was a trip you had planned, a job you wanted, a person you were excited to see. The strongest emotion wasn't after you got it, it was before. The anticipation, the excitement, the uncertainty. Your brain was engaged because the outcome wasn't guaranteed yet. That's the state where pursuit lives. And the biggest mistake good women make is accidentally removing that state far too early. Not because they're manipulative, not because they're desperate, because they're genuinely trying to build connection. Unfortunately, what creates connection and what creates pursuit aren't always the same thing, and that's where things start going wrong. Let's talk about the first mistake. Mistake number 1, making yourself too available too early. Most women don't realize they're doing this because it feels like kindness, it feels like interest, it feels like being a good partner. He texts, you answer immediately. He wants to see you. You move things around, he needs support, you're there, every time, without hesitation. At first that sounds healthy, but let's look at it another way. Imagine someone handed you a trophy before you competed. Would it mean the same thing? Of course not. Part of value comes from investment. Part of value comes from effort. Part of value comes from earning something. When a man realizes your attention is always available, no matter what he does, your attention stops feeling earned. And anything that doesn't feel earned eventually becomes expected. This is how good women become taken for granted. Not overnight. Not because he's malicious. Because what was once appreciated slowly becomes normal. You've probably experienced this yourself. Think about the first week in a new apartment. You're grateful for everything. The view, the space, the kitchen. 6 months later, you barely notice any of it. The human brain adapts quickly, and men's brains are no different. When access to you becomes automatic, appreciation starts getting replaced by familiarity. The women who rarely get taken for granted understand this intuitively. They don't make themselves unavailable. They simply have lives. They have plans, friends, goals, interests, responsibilities. Sometimes they're free, sometimes they're not. And because of that, their attention retains value. It feels chosen, not automatic. That's a huge difference. Mistake number 2, over-reassuring him. This one surprises almost everyone because it sounds like the opposite of what relationship advice usually teaches. Most women think reassurance creates security, and in long-term relationships it absolutely can. But early on, too much reassurance can quietly destroy curiosity. Let's say you're watching a mystery movie. 5 minutes in, someone tells you exactly how it ends. Would you still watch? Maybe. But your level of engagement changes immediately. Why? Because curiosity disappeared. The unknown disappeared. The tension disappeared. Attraction works similarly. When a woman constantly reassures a man that she's staying, that she's available, that she's all in, she often removes every question his mind would naturally be exploring. He no longer wonders, he already knows. And the problem with certainty is that certainty doesn't create pursuit. Curiosity does, discovery does, earning access does. Now, before someone misunderstands this, I'm not saying you should be confusing, or inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable. That's not what creates attraction. What creates attraction is allowing the relationship to unfold naturally instead of rushing to remove every uncertainty immediately. Good women often do this because they're trying to make him comfortable. They're trying to prove they're trustworthy. They're trying to show him they're different. But what they're really doing is handing over relationship-level certainty before relationship-level commitment exists. And that's where things start breaking down. Because the more certainty he receives before investment, the less incentive his brain has to continue investing. Mistake number 3, making him the center of your world. This is the mistake that causes the most damage, and it's usually invisible while it's happening. It starts innocently. You really like him, you think about him more, you prioritize him more, you start adjusting your schedule around him, checking your phone for him, waiting for his texts, replaying conversations, wondering how he feels. Slowly, without realizing it, he becomes the center of your emotional world. And the irony is that this is often the exact moment he starts becoming less invested. Why? Because the qualities that attracted him in the beginning start disappearing. The woman he met had momentum, direction, purpose, interests, a life. Now she's watching him, waiting on him, centering him. Men don't consciously think through this process. They simply feel it. The energy changes, the dynamic changes, the balance changes, and suddenly the challenge disappears, the mystery disappears, the independence disappears. The women who inspire obsession aren't obsessed with him. They're deeply connected to themselves. They have goals they're pursuing, experiences they're excited about, a life they're actively building. And because of that, their attention feels valuable. Not because they withhold it, because they have somewhere meaningful to place it. A man wants to join a life that's already moving. He doesn't want to become the entire purpose of it. And that's where most good women unknowingly lose themselves. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. Good women don't get taken for granted because they're too good. They get taken for granted because they start acting like they're already in a committed relationship before one actually exists. They start giving relationship-level access before relationship-level investment. They offer loyalty before commitment, availability before effort, emotional certainty before emotional security has been built, and because of that, the pursuit phase ends long before it should. Think about what happens when a company gives away its entire premium product for free. Will people take advantage of it? Absolutely. Will they value it the same way? Usually not. Human beings place greater value on what requires investment. That's true in business, it's true in psychology, and it's true in relationships. The women who don't get taken for granted understand this, not because they're calculating, because they respect themselves. Their time means something, their energy means something, their attention means something, and they don't hand those things away automatically. They allow people to earn deeper access gradually, the way healthy relationships are supposed to develop. That's the difference. Not beauty, not luck, not some secret feminine magic. Self-respect, the real kind, the kind that remains steady whether a man is texting you constantly or pulling away. The kind that doesn't chase approval, the kind that doesn't panic when uncertainty shows up. Because a woman operating from that place isn't focused on convincing a man to choose her. She's paying attention to whether he's demonstrating that he's worth choosing. And that's the shift that changes everything. Because the moment you stop asking, "How do I make him value me?" and start asking, "Has he earned access to me?" the entire dynamic changes. That's where pursuit begins. That's where respect begins. And that's where being taken for granted finally ends. If you want to learn exactly how to create that shift and understand the psychological triggers that drive pursuit, that's exactly what I teach inside the Obsession Code. The link is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, because every week we break down attraction psychology, male behavior, and the hidden dynamics that shape modern relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.